O Master, please do not forget me, who are all alone in this world. I am a beggar at your door. Please do not let your heart forget me. Jai Gurudev. Jai Gurudev.
Hey.
Jaya Jaya. Oh no, that's Jai Jai Shri Guru. Jaya Jaya Advaita Acaraya. Jaya Daya Moy. Jaya Jaya Advaita Acarya Daya Moy. Jarankare Gauravataraya. Jarankare Gauravataraya. Premadata Sita Nata Karuna Sagara. Premadata Sita Nata Karuna Sagara. Jara Prema Rase Aira Brajera Nagara. Jare Karuna Kori Kripadi Te Chaya. Jare Karuna Prema Rase Sejan Chaitanya Gunagaya. Prema Rase Sejan Chaitanya Gunagaya. Tahara Parite Jeva Lailo Sharana. Tahara Parite Sejana Pailo Gora Prema Madhan. Sejana Pailo Gora Prema Madhana. Emana Dayara Nidhi Kena Lochan bole nijamate bajara padilu. Lochan bole nijamate bajara padilu. Jaya Jaya Advaita Acharya Dayamay. Jaya Jaya Advaita Acharya Dayamay. Jarankare Gauravatara. Jarankare Gauravatar. Jaya Advaita Acharya. Jaya Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya Jaya. Advaita Acharya Jaya. Advaita Acharya Jaya. Advaita Acharya. Advaita Acharya Shri Advaita Acharya. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Nitai go Haribo Haribo Nitai go Haribo Nitai go Haribo 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 Nitai go Nitai go Haribo 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 Nitai go Haribo all glories to the greatly merciful Advaita Acharya. It was due to his loud roar that Sri Gaura descended. He is the giver of prema, the lord of Sita Devi, and an ocean of compassion. Due to his nectarian love, the hero of Braj came again. To whomever he wants to mercifully bestow his grace, that person sings the glories of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, submerged in prem ras. He who takes shelter of his lotus feet attains the supreme wealth of Gaura Prem. Lochan Das says, "Why have I not worshipped such a treasure house of mercy? Instead, I have struck my own head with a thunderbolt." Srila Advaita Acharya ki jai. Shri Lochan Das Thakur ki jai. Okay. Tagore.
Vande Vishwambara Padakamalam. 339. Nita? You could do. Yeah, it's just really clear. O Vande Vishvambara Pada Kamalam.
Vande Vishwambara Padakamalam.
O Vande Vishvambara Pada Kamalam.
Vande Vishwambara
Pandita Kali Yuga Janamala Samaram
Kandita Kali Yuga Janamala Samalam.
Vande Vishvambara Pada Kamalam
Vande
Vande Vishvambara
Vishwambara Pada Kamalam.
Pada Kamalam Sorabakar Shita Nija Jana Madhupam Sorabakar Sorabakar Sita Nija Jana Madhupam Karuna Kandita Viraha Vitapam Karuna Kandita Viraha Vitapam Vande Vishvambara Pada Kamalam Kandita Kali Yuga Janamala Samalam Nasrita Hrid Gata Maya Timiram Nasita Hrid Gata Maya Timiram Varanija Kantya Jagatamachiram Jagatamachiram Varanija Kantya Jagatamachiram Vande Vishvambara Kara Kamalam Vande Vishvambara Pada Kamalam Sata Virajita Nirupama Shobham Satata Virajita Nirupama Shobham Radha Mohana Kalita Vilobam Radha Mohana Kalita Vilobam Vande Vishvambara Pada Kamalam Vande Vishvambara Pada Kamalam Kandita Kali Yuga Janamala Solam Kandita Kali Yuga Janamalam Samalam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Vande Vishwambara Parakamalam. Vande Vishwambara Parakamalam. Kandita Kali Yuga Janamalam Samalam. Jaya Nitai, Jaya Go, Jaya Nitai, Jaya Go, Jaya Nitai, Jaya Go, Jaya Nitai, Jaya Go, Jaya Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Nitai Gauranga. Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari bol. Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari bol, Hari bol. Gurudev, 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 Gurudev. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. I offer prayers to the lotus feet of Lord Vishwambar, who removes the refuse from the hearts of the people of Kali Yuga. He attracts his honeybee-like followers with his sweet fragrance, mercifully removing their anguish of separation from him. With effulgence, he destroys the darkness of Maya's illusion, which has covered the hearts of the living entities since time immemorial. He is forever resplendent with the incomparable beauty. Radha Mohan Das feels an intense eagerness to attain his shelter. Bhajahure mana Sri Nandana Abhaya Charanara Bindare. Durlabha Nava Janama Satsange Tada Hoye Baba Sindhure. Shita Atapa Vata Borishana Etena Jamini Jagire. Etena Jamini Jagire. Vipare Sevinu Kripana Dorajana. Vipale Sevinu Kripana Dorajana. Chapana Sukhalava Ragire. Bajahure Mana Shinandanandana Abhaya Charanara Vindare Jahure Mana Etana Yovana Putra Parijana Iteki Achipara Titire Etana Jovana Putra Parijana Kamala Dala Jala Jivana Taramana Kamala Kamala Dala Jala Jivana Taramana Bajahu Haripada Nitire Bajahu De Mana Shinandanandana Abhaya Charanara Bindare Shavana Kirtana Smarana Vandana Pada Sevana Dasyare Pujana Sakhi Jana Atmani Vedana Pujana Sakhi Jana Pujana Sakhi Jana Atmani Vedana Govinda Dasabi Lashare Bajahu De Mana Shinandanandana Abhaya Charanara Bindare Jaya Nanda Nandan Jaya Yasoda Nandan Nanda Nandan Jaya Yasoda Nandan Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaura Hari Bol O mind, just worship the lotus feet of Sri Nandanandana, which brings fearlessness. This human birth is very rare, so take the association of saintly persons and cross over this ocean of material existence. Suffering the pains of the cold, heat, wind, and rain, I remain sleepless day and night. I have uselessly served miserly and wicked men for a fraction of momentary happiness. Wealth, youth, sons, and relatives, what assurance do they hold? This life is tottering like a drop of water on a lotus petal. So always serve and worship the feet of Sri Hari. Hearing, chanting, remembering, offering prayers, serving his lotus feet, engaging as a servant, worshipping, serving him as a friend, and completely offering him the Lord one's very self. These 9 limbs of bhakti are Govinda Dasa's cherished aspiration.
$112. Playing the flat Vrishabhana Sutta Charana Sevane Hoibo e Payadasi Vrishabhanu Sutta Charana Sevane Hoibo Jopayadasi Vrishabhana Sutta Charana Sevane Hoibo e Payadasi Vrishabhana Sutta Hoibo e Payadasi Shiradhara Sukha Satata Sadhane Shiradhara Sukha Satata Sadhane Rahibo Ami Prayasi Rahibo Ami Prayasi Hoibo Je Payadasi Hoibo Je Payadasi Shiradhara Sukhe Krishnera Je Sukha Janibo Mane Te Ami Shiradhara Sukhe Krishnera Je Sukha Janibo Mane Te Ami Radha Parachari Shri Krishna Sangame Radha Parachari Shri Krishna Sangame Kabu na hoibo kami Kabi na hoibo kami Janibo mani te ami Saki gana mama parama sarit Jugala premera guru Saki gana mama parama sarit Jugala premera guru Taranuga hoye sevivo radha Taranuga hoye se vivo radha Charana kalpataru Charana kalpataru Jugala premera guru Radha Pakshachari Je jana se jana Ye bhave se bhave take Radha Pakshachari Je jana se jana Je bhava se bhava take Amito Radhika Pakshapati Sada Amito Radhika Pakshapati Sada Kabo nahi herita ke Kabe nahi herita ke Ye bhave se bhave take Ye bhave se bhave Vrishabhanu Sutta Charana Sevani Hoibo he Payadasi Vrishabhanu Sutta Charana Sevani Hoibo je Payadasi Vrishabhanu Sutta Charana Sevani hoibo he payadasi. Shri Radha Sukha Satata Sadhane. Satata Sadhane. Shri Radha Sukha Satata Sadhane. Rahi Bhami Prayashi. Hoibo he palyadasi. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe, Radhe. Jaya Vrishabhanu Nandini Radhe Radhe. Vrishabhanu Nandini Radhe Radhe. Vrishabhanu Nandini Radhe Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Krishna, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Krishna. Jaya Shri Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe. Jaya Shri Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe. One more, Maha. Okay, I'm just going to read the English. To serve the lotus feet of the daughter of King Brishabhanu, I shall become her Palyadasi, affectionately sheltered maidservant, and strive to constantly bring her all happiness. I shall know within my heart that Sri Krishna takes pleasure in Sri Radha's happiness, and so I shall never desire to abandon her lotus feet and to enjoy separately with Sri Krishna. The Sakhis are my supreme well-wishers and my gurus regarding the loving affairs of the divine couple. Remaining faithfully under their guidance, I shall serve Sri Radha's lotus feet, which are like wish-fulfilling trees. Let anyone aside from Sri Radha's party be as they are. I am indeed always partial to Srimati Radhika and never look upon those who are not. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki jai, Srimati Radharani ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Bolo. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Ramo, Hare Ramo, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Radha Ramana, Jaya Radha Ramana. Oh Radha Ramana, Jaya Radha Ramana. I know, I just forgot. I'm supposed to do the top first. You remember all the different varieties. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Radhanama Parmasukharari. But we'll read. Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Rama.
To everybody, and for our guests like Omid. We generally start the speaking part of the program with an invocation to evoke the presence of our disciplic succession of self-realized gurus. So we say that together. I just need the pink. Okay. Yeah, Tulsi. Agyanam timirandasya Gyananjana salakaya Chaksuranmilitam yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Twadalai Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Namah. Yang Pravajantam Manupetamapetakrityam Dvaipayano Viraka Taruajuhava Putri Ditanmayataya Taruvo Banedas Tang Sarvabhutaridayam Muni Manatosmi Bhaktya Vinay Aparada Lakshay Chiptasya Kamadi Tarangamadhi Kripamayi Tvam Sharanam Prapadyam Brinde Namaste Charanarvindam Tavaivasmi Tavaivasmi Najivami Tambina Iti Vigyaya Radhe Tam Nayamam Charanantikam Kripayati Yadi Radha Badidha Sheshabadha Kimaparavashishtam Pushtimaryadayorme Yadivadati Chakinchit Smedahasoditasrir Twijavaramani Panktya Mukti Shaktya Tadakim Shama Sundara Shikanda Shekara Smedahasa Murali Manohara Radhikara Sikamam Kripanithe Swapriya Charana Kinkari Karu Prananatha Vrishabhanu Nandini Srimukhabjara Salola Satapada Radhika Paratale Kritastiti Tambajami Rasikendra Sekara Samvidaya Nasane Tranam Vivo Prartaye Prajamahendra Nandan Astu Mohantavati Ballabha Janma Janmani Marisvari Priya. First I offer my unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of my most worshipful, initiating Guru Sri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, and the same unlimited obeisances in the dust of the lotus feet of my instructing Gurudev, Vichalila Pravishta Om Vishnupad, Astotri Sat Shishimad, Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. Srila Bhakti began Bharati Goswami Maharaj, to our grandfather gurus, Sri Srimad Bhakti, Pragan Keshava Goswami Maharaj, and Sri Srimad Bhakti, Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, to all of his associates, and to all the assembled devotees and guests, and to our devotees, Diksha Gurus, who are my Shiksha Gurus, Sri Srimad Bhakti, Vedanta, Madhav Maharaj, Sri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta, Ban Maharaj, and Sri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Siddhanti Maharaj. So before I begin, I'd like to ask our two new guests, have you ever been to a Krishna conscious temple before? How did you hear about this one?
A friend introduced me to Kirtan Yoga, and I Googled it, and I came here.
But you never were there at a Kirtan event?
Correct.
Wow. Did you like this one?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
Okay. And you're not Vishal, are you? Is that Vishal? Oh, close. Sure, Shal. Okay. Okay. So you know something of the philosophy, right? Okay.
He knows a lot.
He does. He's just shy. All right, so today is a very special day. Usually we have a pretty introductory class on Sundays, and then a lot of Q&A, life questions, philosophy questions, doubt questions. But today is a very special day. The philosophy will be included within this event, but it is the birthday or the appearance day anniversary of one of our great teachers and also manifestations of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And his name is Advaita Acharya. I don't know if you could see this little picture. He's about 75. Oh, yes. Sorry. He's at the end here as one of the kirtan, the main kirtan singers of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's kirtan party. Just like we may get 20, 30 people for kirtan, so Mahaprabhu would get millions of people. So he is like we chant Hare Krishna, so he's a combination, because Hare is Radha, the feminine counterpart. Here, the feminine, all on the altar. Here on the altar. The feminine counterpart of Krishna, that's Radha, when we say Hare. So, when Radha and Krishna combine together, they manifest as themselves, but in one form, appearing as a great devotee in order to teach us how to develop love of God, how to come onto the transcendental platform. So today is the appearance day of one of Lord Chaitanya's main associates and one of the incarnations of Krishna. His name is Advaita Acharya. So he appeared today. That is the 6th day of the moon. And then next week, what day? Next week? Friday. Next Friday, is the appearance day of Lord Nityananda Prabhu. He is the first incarnation of Krishna. And from him come all the other incarnations, including Advaita Acharya. And then 2 days later, how many days later for Lord Chaitanya? A way month later is Lord Chaitanya's appearance day, which is one of the biggest holidays of the year, so I hope that you can all come. Okay, so Advaita, what does he look like? Yes, I just showed. Okay, great. And then Nityananda, who I just mentioned, this is Nityananda Prabhu. He's also here. So about 550 or 550 years ago, he was thinking that there's so much atheism now in the world, with so much lust, anger, greed, pride, illusion, envy, crime, exploitation, pollution, murders. You just open up your email to look at, or you open up your internet to look at an email, and then you get a barrage of murders and leaders stealing and so many things. So he was thinking, because he is an incarnation, a fourth removed incarnation of Krishna, and so his service, you could say, is creating the universes. I added an ES because although we got taught in school that there's only one universe and only 9 planets and only one of them is inhabitable, actually we learned from the ancient Vedic texts that there are innumerable universes. So Advaita Acharya, this is his form in this world when he plays as a human being. But he has another form as you could say, part 2 of Krishna's incarnation called Mahavishnu, or Karanadakshaya Vishnu. I know there's a lot of Sanskrit terms here. Do you know Hindi? Persian. Okay. Otherwise, Hindi is so close to Sanskrit. Let's see. So, because, hi, welcome. This is, here to make it simpler by pictures. Where am I? Okay, so on top, can you point? On top, that is Krishna, the source of all incarnations, the source of all manifestation, the source of all worlds. And then he expands, and his fourth expansion down is Mahavishnu. And then Mahavishnu desires to create. He desires, for a while, he desires to create. Krishna doesn't desire to create. His expansion, his first expansion, Balaram or Nityananda, doesn't have that desire. But then when we come to this Mahavishnu, he has a desire to create. So although he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead's incarnation, and though he's completely pure, this arrangement is not pure because it's in relation to this material world. So he desires to create. Why? Because these are the main questions of science, isn't it? They spend billions of dollars. Why is this world here? How did it get here? Why are we here? How did we get here? Did we come from the amoebas and the apes? Or was there another way, a more thoughtful way? So because we are all parts and parcels of God or Krishna, so we were created, just like, do you have any kids? Okay, so parents who do have kids created them so that they could have a loving relationship and to give the kids happiness. So similarly, Krishna created innumerable souls to give us happiness. We're eternal, but still you have to use mundane language, so we say created, but really we're eternal. Like the sun is eternal and the sunlight is eternal, but still the sunlight was created from the sun. It's kind of inconceivable concepts. But as our spiritual teacher said, if God does not have some inconceivable things, then what is the meaning of being God? So if we want to all drop our limited conceptions of existence and just like jump in, like dive. Okay, so because we desired, there's two ways you can desire. To turn to Krishna or to turn away from him, because he created us with independence. So for those of us who desire to turn away from him, he manifested his incarnation called Mahavishnu. And so he desired to create. So his second part, that is Advaita, he's also called Mahavishnu, but because it's his day today, Advaita, he manifested all the material ingredients like sound, ether, touch, form, taste, and then the elements that go along with it as well, like sky, fire. Fire has form. Ether has space and sound. Then there's water, which has form. It has the previous elements too, like it has form, but it also has taste. And then from water comes earth. And earth has all the previous elements. It has space. We talk sometimes about space. What's the importance of space? Everything would be squashed together if there was no space. And there wouldn't be the word squash. There would be like no existence. It's like if you make almond into an oil, but even more than that. So all these elements and senses and sense perceptions were created by Advaita. And then he also created all the universes with all these elements. And then he further entered into each universe as the supersoul in every atom. So there's nowhere that he isn't. And a pure devotee, you can see on the next page, the pure devotee, when he sits and meditates and chants Hare Krishna, he sees that the Lord is in everyone's heart and every soul is in every heart as well. It's quite a complicated system. Sometimes we wonder how all these ITs and all these complicated companies with so many departments, but where did that come from? Janmadhyasya yataha. Everything has its origin in Krishna. So, some examples are given. Like one atheist said, no, it's not true that everything comes from spirit. Rather, everything comes from matter. Matter is the source. Just like a cow eats grass and gives milk. And so that milk was produced. Had nothing to do with consciousness. So then the young devotee replied, well, if that's the case, that that's the only cause, then why doesn't the bull give milk by eating grass? Is it that it needs more grass? And then the atheist said, well, bricks and cement and water are absolutely necessary for making a building. So then the devotee says, all right, well, let's take a ton of bricks, 10 tons of cement, 10 tons of water, and let's just place them here, and let's see if the building will come out. No, of course not. A building requires consciousness to direct it. Similarly, the cow needs a spirit, a soul inside of him to direct the whole process. And the example is given of a blind man and a lame man. And they both want to go to the same place. So the blind man says to the lame man, okay, just get on my shoulder and then you'll see where to go. I mean, I'll see where to go. No, you'll see where to go. You're lame, but at least you can see which direction to go so we don't bump into anything. So I'll walk you and you tell me where to go. So this is the analogy of the blind man and the lame man. So with Mahavishnu, who's desiring to create, and then Mahavishnu, who's his counterpart, who actually creates all the universes. You could say it's something like that. So another example is given in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. That is this set of books down here on the bottom. Top? Oh, the Bhagavatams are on the bottom? Okay, on the top, yes, that's correct. On the top. So let's say you have a mother and a father, and they want to beget a child. So can the mother, from whose womb the child comes, can she alone? Vinodini, could you alone get your son and daughter? No, you needed your husband. So similarly, it's not a perfect analogy, but consciousness. You need the father, you need the consciousness to enter into the matter of the mother's womb and to produce the conscious child. So similarly, this whole material nature, these whole universes, is completely helpless to do anything. Even the material nature, which is coming from Krishna, is also non-different from Krishna. Haridas, what's that verse? In the beginning? Paschadaham yate
Tachcha yo vashisyatasyoasmaham. O Brahma, it is I, the personality of Godhead, who is
Slower, louder.
O Brahma, it is I, the personality of Godhead, who is existing before the creation, when there was nothing but myself. Nor was there the material nature, the cause of this creation. That which you see now is also I, the personality of Godhead,
That which you see now everywhere.
and what remains after annihilation will also be I, the personality of Godhead.
So before, now, and later, there'll only be I. So that's pretty amazing. So even the material nature, which Krishna impregnates, how does he impregnate it? By his glance. Good. So are you going to prove that? Show it. So that same Mahavishnu, another way to look at it is that he glances over the material nature, the unmanifest material nature, and thus she becomes manifest, and all the varieties are manifest as well. You can see why Prabhupada wanted so many paintings in his books. He wrote us once, us artists, he wrote us once that suppose you have a description of a man walking to his house, and then you have a picture of a man walking to his house, and that makes it more clear how the man is walking to his house. Yeah.
So I just looked at the photo. So he's glancing specifically at Durga, which is interesting, which he's equating as material nature itself. I've never actually seen that exact
Analogy.
relation.
Oh, relation, fact.
Itself is the basis of the material.
She's the material basis of the creation. You're combining consciousness and matter, and by that everything happens. Yes, that's why the Bhagavatam is so important. Yashya vai shuyamanayam. Just by reading this set of books, the Srimad Bhagavatam, bhakti at once enters the heart. Krishna becomes manifest in the heart, and one becomes free from illusion, fear, and hunger. So, not only that, he becomes well acquainted with the truth. We know something about Durga. Like some people think that Durga is the source of Krishna, that Durga is the complete source of the world, she's God, and that she's just one of the manifestations, Krishna is one of the manifestations. But we learn from the ancient Vedic texts that Krishna himself, what is that verse? Brahma Samhita. Sarvakarna Karanam. Ishvara Parama Krishna, Sachirananda Vigraha, Anadir Adir Govinda, Sarvakarna Karanam. Ishvara Parama, the Supreme Controller, is Krishna, Sachirananda Vigraha, and he has a form of eternity, bliss, and knowledge. Anadir, he has no cause of himself. Adir, and yet he is the cause of everything. He is the cause of everything, but he has no cause beyond himself. This is also inconceivable. Sarva Karna Karanam. That's the end. Sachinanda Vigraha, Nadir Adir Govinda. Sarva Karna Karanam. He is the cause of all causes.
So my question is, thank you for that. But my question is, so Durga's counterpart is typically associated with form of Shiva,
Certainly.
right? So can you expand on that? So if he's glancing at Durga, wouldn't that be out of kind of place with her counterpart with?
Very excellent question. Now, if you notice, okay, so the question is, we just said that Lord Vishnu glances over Durga, unmanifest Durga, and then she manifests as all the varieties of material nature. So usually we read and hear that Durga is connected with Lord Shiva. So how do we reconcile that? Do you have the picture? Is it there in the picture? Yeah. Yes. Okay. So there's definitely a relationship with Lord Shiva. There are, oh no, it's not here. It's in the other one. It's in the Shiva Tattva book. Okay. All right. So you'll see in a minute that because Krishna is the sum total of everything, so Lord Shiva is Vaishnavanam Yatasambhu, which means that he's the greatest devotee of Krishna, and he assists him in many ways. He assists him as in the creation, like you'll see in a minute. He assists him in the destruction, which we can also show you how at the end of, like also from Vishnu, Krishna, comes, thank you. You see that very light light? Okay, yes, right here. So this is Shiva's, it's Lord Vishnu's glance, but it's the Shiva Linga. So the Brahma Samhita, which is a treatise written near the beginning of creation by Lord Brahma, he writes all about that. That Lord Shiva is so in the creation, he's a dim reflection. That doesn't mean he's dim, but you have to use mortal language. He's a dim reflection of the glance of Lord Vishnu. So the glance of Lord Vishnu is going towards Durga, but he doesn't personally combine with her. Lord Shiva's, his glance does, in the form of the Shiva Linga. And you know, you've seen the pictures of the Linga of Lord Shiva, and then there's a kind of like a bowl that it's standing on, so that represents Durga. So he combines, he unites, and she's his wife. He unites with her, and then the whole creation comes out. So it's all very reconcilable. And then you have the third canto, the temporary destruction, or it's in the back of one of the third cantos. No, it's Lord Vishnu with the fire. All right. So, yeah. Okay, so Lord Vishnu also creates Lord Brahma. And at the end of every day of Brahma, which is the duration of 4,300,000,000 years. You'd have to see the larger picture in order to see it clearly. So, which is at the end of 4,300,000,000. You can have that. You can have that. The book. At the end of 4,300,000,000 years, at the end of Brahma's night, there's a partial destruction of the universe. At that time, another expansion of Lord Vishnu, that is Garbhodakshayi Vishnu, who also comes from Advaita Acharya. He's lying on the Garbhodak ocean at the bottom of the universe, and he's lying on a bed of snakes called Ananta. And he also comes from Advaita Acharya. And from his mouths, from his many, many mouths, yeah, that's good, comes fire. And so there's lots of details in this philosophy. There's 36,000 years of fire, a flood first, and 36,000 years of fire. And then the whole universe is devastated. At that time, Brahma sleeps within the body of Garbhodakshayi Vishnu. Lots of new names. So anyway, you can get the gist of the magnitude. It's not our tiny conception like our teachers taught us or scientists taught us. So that's the visual. Where were we?
I think we're in the creation actually.
What Advaita Acharya does, he creates all the elements. Okay. Right. So he also has a lot of pastimes in his human form as Advaita here on earth. He comes whenever Lord Chaitanya comes in order to assist him in his pastimes. So how did he first assist him? He first assisted Lord Chaitanya, who again is Radha and Krishna combined, who came here in order to teach us by his own example and teachings how to become a pure devotee of Radha and Krishna. So, where was I again?
First assistance.
Yeah, he was his assistant throughout his whole presence here on earth 500 years ago, from beginning to end. Well, let's say before beginning, because as I mentioned earlier, when Lord Advaita Acharya appeared around 600 years ago, he saw that the whole world. Are you looking for a bathroom? Can somebody help him? He saw that the whole world had become extremely sinful as this age of Kali, or the age of quarrel and hypocrisy, was developing. So much corruption as we see now, even on a grander level. So he thought it's so bad that as Mahavishnu, I have the power to destroy this whole sinful universe. But I want the universe to be delivered, not destroyed. But if something doesn't change, I'm just going to destroy it. So he decided to call for the appearance of Krishna himself. There are other incarnations who could kill demons, and who could establish religious principles of different ages. But nobody, except for Krishna himself, could give pure love for God and complete freedom from birth, old age, disease, and death. So he knew that, what is the greatest form of worship that somebody could do? It's to worship the Tulsi plant. She gives the greatest benedictions. And also the Ganges water, to worship with the Ganges water. So I think there's a painting of that in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. It's also in the art book. This was done, all these paintings were done by a team of Bhaktivedanta Book Trust artists who were disciples of our Srila Prabhupada. And he translated all these books, and then he wanted them further clarified, the translations. So he wrote his Bhaktivedanta purports, and then he further clarified it by putting in paintings. So he's going to show now the picture of Advaita Acharya. So he's thinking, only if Krishna comes himself can the whole world be changed. Okay, so here is Advaita Acharya. He's also worshiping the Shalagram Shila. And we also have Shalagram Shila, a worshipful stone, and the Tulsi. He's offering the Tulsi leaf to the Shalagram Shila, which is a stone manifestation of Krishna, as well as the Ganges water. And so he's making prayers to call for the Lord. So it's described that Lord Vishnu's throne shook, thank you, when he heard Advaita Acharya's prayers. Because he was wondering, Krishna was wondering, like, I know I have to come, because when I came before, I gave so many benedictions to the people. I gave religious systems, a system of civilization rather than animal life. I gave worship in the temple, but I didn't give such love for me that even I would be astonished. So I need to come and do that. I need to give the highest love where the jivas, the living entities, would come to my personal abode and have the most intimate relationship with me that even astonishes me. And so, but I don't know when to come. Should I come in 10,000 years? Should I come in 20? Maybe I should come in 100,000 years. But then, when Advaita Acharya offered his worship and prayers, then he decided, I'm coming immediately. So that's when he came. And he gave this ecstatic love of God. And here you can see how many people at one time he would attract. And now all over the world, because of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his disciplic succession of pure devotees, there's kirtan all over the world. Sometimes 20, sometimes 100, sometimes 1,000. And then in India, we find there's kirtans of 10,000 and 20,000 people. So he's the original cause, not original, but he's one of the main four causes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu descending to this world to give this highest benediction. The first reason was that Krishna wanted to understand the love of Radha, his feminine counterpart, why her love drives him mad, what kind of taste she gets from relishing his qualities, and what is the glory of her love that completely controls him. That's the first internal reason. Then the first external reason is that he wanted to give the highest love to the living entities. Actually, he wanted to give the maid service of Srimati Radhika in conjugal love to the special jivas. And then the second internal reason was that secondary internal reason was this worship of Advaita Acharya. That's why he came when he came. And then the second external reason is to spread the Yuga Dharma. Yuga Dharma means what is the religion, what is the main or even the only religious principle of this age of quarrel and hypocrisy. And at that time, he came also to give this highest love. So he gave it through the Sankirtan, chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, which is the Yuga Dharma for this age, this particular age. So he's one of the four original assistants before Mahaprabhu came. And then he assisted him in always after that in the Sankirtan party. He was also preaching. Before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, there were so many preachers, but all these preachers were preaching some misinterpretation of Bhagavad Gita and other scriptures. So that's impersonal, so that I'm God, you're God, everyone's God, but we're not people, we're just an impersonal light, and all kinds of fallacious philosophies. Or they were just preaching atheism, to how to enjoy in this material world. So Advaita Acharya preached pure Bhagavad Gita. And then, when Lord Chaitanya was a young boy, his mother sent him to the school of Advaita Acharya, because it was also like a primary school. And so, because his brother, his older brother, Viswambar, Visvarup, went to that school, and so his mother sent him to the school, go and pick up your older brother, bring him home. So when he saw the teacher, Advaita Acharya, Lord Chaitanya glanced over towards him. Amar's getting big, he's walking. That's amazing. Okay, so go and pick up your older brother. So when he went there, he glanced at Advaita Acharya, who was already mesmerized by looking at him because of his Cupid-like beauty, his enchanting smile, and just everything about him, his effulgence. So Lord Chaitanya looked at him and said, but only in his mind, that you brought me, but now you don't recognize me. But one day you will recognize me. And that time came to pass. And at that time, Advaita Acharya became the main person of Mahaprabhu's, one of the main assistants of Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan party and preaching. Speaking of preaching, Advaita Acharya was the disciple of Lord Chaitanya's grand spiritual master. And one is supposed to worship the disciple of his grand spiritual master and his spiritual master like guru. So he was a disciple of his grand spiritual master, Madhavendra Puri. And so Lord Chaitanya used to honor him and worship him, always offering obeisances and respects. And Advaita Acharya did not like that, because he knew that Lord Chaitanya is God himself. He was totally embarrassed. So what he did was to change that. Oh, poor Amar. What he did was he started preaching this same impersonal philosophy. And so when Lord Chaitanya heard he was doing that, he went to his home and started beating him up. And until his wife, Advaita's wife, had to stop him to protect him. And then Advaita Acharya started dancing in ecstasy. He said, finally, today my life is successful, because instead of being worshipped, I got punished by my Lord. I'm sorry? Pulled his beard? Pulled his beard, yeah, his beard. Yes? Okay, good question again. It's called Advaita because all the different incarnations of Krishna are non-different from Krishna. So that gives him the name Advaita, or non-dual, non-different. And because he was teaching bhakti, pure bhakti, he's called Acharya. So you combine that and you get Advaita Acharya. Okay, thanks for bringing that up. But I'm glad you also brought it up, because Advaita also means non-dual or impersonalism. So one day, Lord Chaitanya said to his mother, Sachi, who's the mother of the universe, mother of God. We can't even imagine how glorious she is. And so he said to her, I'm sorry, I can't show love to you anymore. And none of my associates will show love to you anymore. Why? Because my brother, Visvarup, went to his school and you wanted him to be a nice household devotee, get married and learn a lot and be an example as a good householder devotee. But instead, by associating with the Advaita Acharya, he decided to renounce the world and become a sannyasi. So one day he just did that. So Mother Sachi said, but look, he separated Dvaita. He separated me and my son, made him leave home. So therefore his name is Dvaita. So then Lord Chaitanya told her, you know, we living entities have been traveling around the universes in various bodies since the beginning of time, as soon as we decided to turn away from Krishna, when we had that original choice. So we've been lizards and cockroaches and so many horrible things. When you're a cockroach, you can get easily run by a car. And if you're an ant, you can easily be crushed by a cockroach. So what a life. What a bunch of lives. So if somebody is going to relieve a living entity from birth, old age, disease, and death, and give him not only liberation but love of God, what could be superior to that? So then she said, okay. And she said she was just about to offer her obeisances and apologize to Advaita Acharya because her son showed her the light. But then, before she could do it to him, Advaita Acharya bowed down to her. And he said, you can't possibly commit any offense to me. You're the mother of the whole universe. But if that was an offense, then I forgive you 100 times. So then everything was reconciled. Everything went back to normal. Let's see. So there's a special Sanskrit name for what Mahavishnu does and what Advaita Acharya, or the second half of Mahavishnu, does. So the first half is called the nimitta cause. That means the instrumental cause. He's the instrument because he desired creation. Where did his desire come from? Krishna. Came from Krishna. Because he wants all the souls to be with him and not be suffering in the world. But so he got his desire from Krishna. And then, because of his desire, that desire came into Advaita Acharya, and then he created everything. Here's an analogy. Srila Gurudev and Srila Prabhupada are just full of these fantastic analogies. So, if I say to proceed, you look pretty strong. Go and beat up that hooligan who just ran away with our stuff. So then he goes and slaps him around and brings him back to be arrested. So who is the cause of that beating? Was it me who gave him the order, or was it him who did the beating? Yes, that is correct. It was the hooligan. Because he did that criminal act, he deserved to be punished. And so the arrangement was made. So it's not a perfect analogy. So there's the instrumental cause. That's Mahavishnu. That's the nimitta karan, or for those of you who love Sanskrit. And then there's the upadan cause, or the upadan karan. Karan means cause, just like Krishna is the sarva karana karanam, cause of all causes. So the upadan cause is the ingredients cause. He provided all the ingredients, and the nimitta cause is the instrument. Yep.
There's another analogy of the axe and the woodcutter.
Okay, can you take a mic somehow or other?
There's another. Yeah, there's another analogy of the axe, the woodcutter, and the tree. Did the axe cut the tree, or the woodcutter cut the tree? The woodcutter used the axe, and the handle of the axe come from a tree, right? And he used the axe to cut the tree. So who cut the tree? Right?
Tree was the original cause, right?
Right.
Good,
Haribol.
thanks. All right, so both of them have to combine. But who is the original cause of nimitta and upadan? Krishna. Because without the will of Krishna and the desire of Krishna, neither of them could have acted, because they are incarnations of Krishna for the purpose of creation. So, a couple more of his pastimes on earth. So, he was born in Srihata in East Bengal, and his father was a devotee, and he was named Kamalaksha. Aksha means eyes, and Kamala means lotus. So because his eyes were beautiful, like lotus petals, he was called Kamalaksha. And then, when he was a young boy, because his father knew the king, so the king invited the father and the son to his palace. And in his palace, here we go with Durga. Okay, so he had a deity of Durga in his palace on the altar. And the king bowed down when they entered the room, and the father bowed down. But the son, Kamalaksha, refused to bow down, even though the father insisted. And when he insisted so many times, Kamalaksha said, I can't. Why? Because I am the husband of Durga. And so the wife, at least in Vedic culture, can't tolerate when the husband bows down to her. Because in the ancient Vedic culture, she was the servant of the husband. And the husband deserved to be served at that time. So, let's see. So, because he said, if you don't bow down, then the king will be insulted. He said, okay. And he bowed down, and immediately the Durga deity burst into pieces. So that showed his godhood right there from the beginning. Another incident in this human platform was that he was going to perform a Shraddha ceremony. Prashid, you know what a Shraddha ceremony is? So you perform this ceremony for the deceased to benefit him by saying these mantras and offering him the prasadam of Lord Vishnu, so that his next lives can be on a higher level. So, yeah, so he invited all the brahmanas. There were so many brahmanas, means the priestly class. Priestly class. Where did Anud go? Is he still here, or did he have to leave? Amid, yeah.
He had to leave, but he got books, he got Prashadam, and he plans to come back on Tuesday for the Japa class.
That's wonderful. Okay, good. Where am I? Prashadam. Yep, he got Prashadam. And Advaita Acharya wanted to serve all the Brahmins with Mahaprashadam at the end of the ceremony. So there's a system in the Shraddha ceremony where the most exalted personality in the assembly would be given a raised seat, and he would also be given the first plate of the prasadam. So they all came, and they were all thinking, I'm a great scholar, I know all the scriptures, I'm so well behaved, I always speak the truth, so I'm certainly going to get that seat. So when he called them in, they all came in, and they all thought that, although at the moment they were sitting on lower seats. But instead, he went out again, and he saw that Haridas Thakur is a very great, pure devotee of Lord Chaitanya. But he was born in a Muslim family. But he was a pure devotee. So he was sitting outside, and he was thinking, all these exalted brahmanas are here in this assembly. Surely I'll get some of their prasadam when they're finished. So he was sitting there outside, and Advaita Acharya came in and grabbed him and pulled him inside, and forcibly, he said, no, I don't want to come in, I'll contaminate the whole place. But he forcibly sat him on that higher seat. So what happened with the other brahmanas? They all became furious. What? What are you doing? This Muslim? This low-class Muslim you're giving this exalted seat to? That's an offense to us. What was he trying to do there? Advaita Acharya is trying to show. He's preaching by his words, and he's also preaching by example. That a devotee, a pure devotee, is beyond the four castes, like Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, or agriculturalist, and Sudra, or low-class person, worker for the other classes. And if a Brahmana has all the qualities, all the Brahminical qualities of cleanliness, honesty, equality, but he's not a devotee of Krishna, then he's lower than a Sudra, or worse than a Sudra. He's lower than a Chandal, or a dog eater. Somebody born in he's not going to be still eating dogs, but he was born in a dog eater family, but now he became a pure devotee. So he preached that bhakti is transcendental, it's about the soul, not about the body, not about the caste, and he also showed it by his example. But these Brahmanas were furious, and they said, we're not taking prasadam here. So Advaita Acharya said to them, good, you can leave right now. In fact, do leave right now, because you've committed a great sin, a great offense to Haridas Thakur. By having Haridas Thakur in my house, millions of brahmanas in my dynasty could be delivered. So yes, go out immediately. I don't want to see your face. So they all went out, but they didn't just leave and go home. They stopped and started talking to themselves. And they said, well, okay, wait a minute. Advaita Acharya is not an ordinary brahmana. Like when he was a young tot, by offering his obeisances to Durga Devi, the whole deity exploded. And he did so many other superhuman things, exceptional things. So he must know what he's doing. So then they came back and they offered apology and obeisances to Haridas Thakur and Advaita Acharya. There's so many nice pastimes. And then at the end, then he had 6 sons. And 3 of the sons he accepted as his sons. And 3 of his sons he rejected as his sons. Why? Because they weren't devotees. And they were of their father. Yeah, my father, Advaita Acharya, he's the controller, he's the supreme controller. But not Krishna, not Nityananda. So he said, these are not my sons. That's pretty amazing. And then the other sons were devotees. But one of them, his name was Achyutananda, and he especially was beloved by Advaita Acharya. Because one day, somebody asked Advaita Acharya, who is the spiritual master of Lord Chaitanya? So Advaita Acharya immediately said, Keshava Bharati, because Keshava Bharati gave Chaitanya Mahaprabhu his sannyas mantras. And so then his son, who was affectionately sitting on his lap, immediately jumped off his lap and got so angry, and tears were coming from his eyes. And he said, you're not my father. You couldn't be my father, because you have the wrong idea about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he needs no spiritual master, and yet you said he has one. And so Advaita Acharya became so happy. Tears of happiness started coming from his eyes. And he said, you are really my son, because you understand the glory of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. At the same time, because he wanted to show an example to the whole world, that's why he accepted a spiritual master. And he also wanted to show how to serve the spiritual master. For example, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's spiritual master left the vision of the world, Mahaprabhu went to his birthplace and took some dust from there and ate that dust. And his spiritual master told him not to study Vedanta, which is for scholarly brahmanas, the study of the Vedas, or especially Vedanta, which is very, very high among the Vedas. Vedanta Sutra is very high. So he said, don't study Vedanta, just chant Hare Krishna. So he had full faith in his spiritual master, and that's what he did. And so there was a certain time when he went down in South India to convert some Mayavadis. And when he went in there to the assembly, the head, Prakashananda Saraswati, he said, Lord Chaitanya sat. First of all, he sat where everybody washed their feet before coming in. So he said, you're a sannyasi, don't sit there. And he brought him, we have that picture on the cover of one of the Chaitanya Charitamritas. But tell us, why do you chant just like a sentimentalist? With the other sentimentalists, you're just dancing and singing Hare Krishna. What is that? And you're not, well, that's where he's converting them. You can bring that as well. But then there's another one, which took place maybe a half hour before that, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is sitting in the dirty place. Huh? So here Lord Chaitanya is proving to them that God is a person and that they're all servants of God and they all got converted. But anyway, before that, he asked, the head of the Mayavadis asked, why do you do this sentimentalism? Why aren't you associating with us and studying Vedanta? And so Lord Chaitanya said, well, what can I do? My spiritual master, Ishvara Puri, he told me I'm not fit for studying the Vedanta. And he told me I was a fool. And he told me just to chant Hare Krishna. And now I find that the Hare Krishna mantra is controlling me. I'm not even chanting and leading the thing. He's making me dance. So the point here is that, I forgot the point here, that Advaita Acharya, what? Why did I mention about Ishvara Puri? Huh? Sorry? Oh, he ate the soil. Yes, but why did Advaita Acharya mention that?
Because his son told him that.
Oh, that Lord Chaitanya doesn't need any spiritual masters. So you are my real son? All right, so I think we've come to an end. You have a question? Great.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. I guess it's not really a question, but an observation. When we do our japa, we say the prayer before, and he's one of the 5 Panchatattva. Yes.
One of the 5 members of the Panchatattva.
Yes. That's all. That I know I say his name, but I didn't know
Who he was.
who he was in such great detail. So
That's
grateful.
great. Good. And here's the Panchatattva now. This is Advaita. This is Chaitanya, Nityananda, Sri Advaita. That's Gadadhar in the middle. And then Srivas is, where'd Srivas go? Oh, he's on the other side of Advaita. Yeah, they're all there. Good. Yeah.
I want to respond real quickly to you. She knows, obviously she knows everything. Just real quick response to her.
She knows everything but.
Quick, you. Okay. So, Srila Gurudev, on a morning walk one time, this is in response to you.
Excuse me. The mic is.
This is in response to you're saying about we chant the Panchatattva mantra and then we begin our chanting. For many, 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 many years, when I started learning this Maha Mantra and chanting on beats, we used to, every time we would come around, we would chant the Maha Mantra, and many of the Prabhupada disciples also used to do that came to Gurudev. And on one morning walk, Gurudev explained to us, he said, you can chant the Panchatattva mantra in the beginning, but then once you begin chanting and going around, now, let's say in theory, you're with the gopis, you're with Radha and Krishna, and they are now in that realm. And so you don't need to, again, when you come to the head beat, chant the Panchatattva mantra, just in case anyone in the audience is listening. This is a direct
I
instruction.
don't even know if they heard you.
Yeah, this is a direct instruction that Srila Gurudev gave all of his disciples, and also both Shiksha and Diksha. And this was very enlightening, actually, for all of us. We discussed it in depth later, that we learned, and we had done it this way for so many years. And as soon as we stopped doing that, at least speaking, things began to, like he was saying. And so I just wanted to, just in case you didn't know that, and then in case Didi
Did everybody
wanted to
get
go.
what he said? Yes? Back there, Sarada? Huh? Okay.
Because I used to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And Padmanabh Maharaj, said only when you going to start, you do Panchatattva. He said when you're doing, when you change, when you finish one wrong, then you change it around. Do not.
Well, why not?
Continue with your Hare.
Why not? Louder?
I've been chanting the Panchatattva after each round, so maybe am I doing it wrong?
Yes, that's what he was just saying. So good that you brought that up. But why not?
Because you do not want to break the continuity of the Mahamantra.
That's
Because-
not a full reason. I could chant Radha Govinda, Radha Govinda, and that breaks up the continuity, but there's no problem.
Is it because of the ras?
It's because of the ras. That is, we say Nityananda and Advaita, and because their relationship is such that neither of them are with Radha and Krishna when they're having their pastimes, so they can't come in between there. Like whenever, when at Ratha Yatra time, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was really in the mood of Radharani, Nityananda Prabhu would stay some far away. Also because Nityananda Prabhu is Balaram, Balaram is Krishna's elder brother, so the elder brother is, in the Vedic culture, is considered something like a parent, protector parent. And so the parent's not going to be around when the husband and wife are together, when they're loving pastimes. That's why. Yes?
I just had a quick question, unrelated to this, but going back to something you quickly mentioned. Oh, thanks. Right before, what was the context
Close,
of?
close.
What's that?
Mic close.
Oh yeah. Yeah. What was the context of the eating of soil in this instance? I know the separate story, but is that the same one you were?
Eating the soil.
Yeah, something like this. You just quickly said.
Well, just like when we go to holy places. Have you been to Vrindavan?
No.
Okay, Vrindavan is where Krishna had his pastimes. So when we go to Vrindavan, we go to certain places, like Krishna killed the demon Putana here, Krishna danced with the gopis here. So whenever we go to a holy place where Radha's and Krishna's, again you ask such a good question, when we go where Radha and Krishna had their pastimes, it means that they danced all around here. So means the ras, or the ecstatic emotional relationship that they experienced during that pastime is in the ground. So when you take the dust, and when we do take the dust, we put it on our head so we can think better. We put it on our eyelids so that we can see better. We put it on our tongue so it goes into our body and purifies it. And we put it on our heart so that our heart can become purified. So in that way, when we do that, we pray that, O Radha, O Krishna, please take away these mundane pastimes from my heart, which, remembering them, cause me anything but happiness. And even if it caused some happiness, it turned into misery later. And please, your pastimes, please enter my heart. So that's the whole procedure there. So for the disciple, the guru is as worshipable as Radha and Krishna, and he's our connection. And so his lotus dust, where he walked, the disciple considers that also worshipable, so he, like that.
Got it. So it's completely separate from the pastimes from his childhood when eating soil and getting scolded.
Yeah.
Got it. So that was just what I
Right,
was trying to clarify. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Cool, thanks.
There is some relation in the sense that Krishna ate the soil, the earth, and then his friends complained to his mother that instead of Krishna giving what you gave him to eat, he's eating this earth. And so Mother Yasoda, they knew that Mother Yasoda wouldn't be happy about that because you don't want your kid eating earth. And so they wanted to see the joking. They wanted to laugh when she would chastise him. So then we find out on one of our parikrama days from Srila Gurudev that the reason that he did taste that earth is because his associates walked all over there. And he loves and worships his associates. Then, so what happened at home, when Mother Yasoda heard that, she said, "Did you eat earth?" And he said, "No, Mother, I would never do that." And then she said, "All your friends are saying it. I know, but they're lying." "Well, even Balaram, your brother, is saying it." "Yeah, but he got into a conspiracy with them and he's also lying." So she said, "Okay, well then, open your mouth." So he opened his mouth and she saw all the universes in his mouth. And she was overwhelmed. So it's all united.
Is it that our Chandan,
Our chandan is earth from Vrindavan. So when we put the chandan on our forehead, on our 12 parts of our bodies, we are actually taking the dirt from Vrindavan and putting it all over our bodies.
Yeah, and it's not dirt, it's earth. But this is a special earth because this is the earth that the gopis stepped on 5,000 years ago in another particular pastime, which Vasanti doesn't want me to tell because she wants everyone to do kirtan and take prasadam. Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Okay, now we'll do some more chanting, a few minutes. Who can do a nice short kirtan? Oh, you didn't do anything yet, huh? You want to lead kirtan? Just short. Because we're all waiting for Advaita Acharya's feast. Oh, I have an idea. When you go to programs outside, sometimes in Vrindavan, when people are playing harmonium, they put the harmonium on a table so that they're not way down there, but they're up with everybody else, if you want. If you like, it's another option. Is it as easy to play?
I don't know. I've never done it that way.
Oh, okay. Oriana, you didn't have a question, right? Okay.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Bol, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitya Gaura Premanande, Shri Advaita Acharya Ki Jai, Sacred Veda Dogs Miami Ki Jai. All glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna.
Okay, where's our fearless president? It was actually Gurudev and Prabhupada, especially Gurudev, because I got everything from his Prabhandavali book. He actually gave the Harikatha.
Jai. Shri Varga ki jai. Panchatattva ki jai. Shri Advaita Acharya ki.
Anugatya ki jai.
Jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you all so much for coming to the Sunday program here at Sacred Vedic Arts. So, we'll take prasadam. We're taking outside. Jai. It's a beautiful day. So we'll take in Radharani's garden. All glories to the cooks, Sharda and Hamangani and Shiva and Subal. So we're having a nice Advaita Acharya feast. And if you're not on our newsletter, I think everyone here must be on the newsletter. If you're not, please see Haridas Prabhu. He's right there. And give email and get on our WhatsApp